I'm just going to tell you a bit about why I'm so passionate about helping people to get into the acting industry and to book more paid work and to consistently be booking paid work. So I left my full-time training in 2001, and for the next 7 years, basically, I did nothing. I went from dead-end job to dead-end job, and I partied a lot, and I did nothing with my acting at all until I got to 27, when I was pregnant. And when you're pregnant, it makes you reevaluate your whole life, and I suddenly thought, right, why aren't I acting? Let me get my shit together here. So, from then I decided to go all in, and I went back into acting, and I started taking acting classes, and I was told by people that I just didn't have it, didn't have what it takes. I was told all sorts of things, and I decided to carry on anyway, but it was difficult. It was difficult, and my confidence was destroyed. And that is why I didn't do anything with it for those 7 years. So I thought it was the rest of the world. It's too hard because of this or because of that. There's no jobs out there. There's too many actors like me. I'm not going to get anywhere. And so I held myself back and I didn't try. And when I did come back into it, I found a lot more obstacles. But by then, my mindset had changed, and I was determined to get somewhere. And I carried on, and I made every mistake under the sun. And seriously, you name it, and I did it. Every single mistake. And I had to learn from those mistakes, and I'm so glad now that I did make them, because I learn. And now every single day I can help other people and make sure that they don't fall into the same traps that I did, and that they can build their confidence and build their self-esteem, and that they know the right steps to take without having to wing it and end up doing the wrong things like what I did. And what I found was that there was a lot of information out there for learning to act, but not that much for the business side, and certainly not that much for mindset. And so we focus on acting, business, mindset, and even health and fitness, because to really, really get somewhere, all of those things need to be flowing. What I found is that if an actor isn't getting to where they want to be, or isn't booking the paid work that they should be, it's rarely down to talent, because, I can tell that all of you here are madly passionate about acting, because if you weren't, you wouldn't have bothered being here. So you're here, you're wanting to learn more, and that tells me that you must be working on your craft. And what I found is that there's so many great actors, and they're not getting there because either they don't know how to run a business and they're not running their acting like a business, or there's something with their mindset. And it's the mindset that I specialise in mainly, because in those 7 years when I was just messing around, I did actually do some things that turned out to be quite useful. So I did training courses on psychology and hypnosis, NLP, and that sort of thing, which has really helped me to be able to, if an actor is being held back for whatever reason, or if they think that something isn't happening for them, to be able to uncover blocks and limiting beliefs and to get rid of those, for them then to be able to shoot up to the next level. So today, we're going to be talking about how you can get booking more work. And this is going to be interactive, okay? So I want you to talk to me. If you've got any questions at any point, just give me a shout. So as much input from you would be fantastic. So we're going to be talking about 5 things. Mindset, clarity, so clarity around where you're heading, and also around who you are and where you fit into the industry. We're going to be talking about marketing materials, and I've just had a look at your marketing materials, those of you who have brought them forward, and most of them look really good, so well done. Marketing materials, what's the 4th thing I'm going to have to check? Daily actions. So the things that you can be doing every single day to improve your chances of being noticed and booking work and getting out of that no pay cycle. If any of you have found that you're booking roles but that you're struggling to actually get paid for them, we're going to work on that as well. And finally, breaking down barriers. So this means going over and above what is expected and doing everything in your power to make sure that you're the one that's going to be at the forefront of people's minds when they're casting. So, I have been warned that someone's going to come in and give me a wave at the end. I do tend to go on once I get started. So, let's get on with it. Mindset. Why do we need a strong mindset as an actor? Why?
Because there's loads of rejection.
Sorry?
Because there's loads of rejection.
Projection, in what way?
Rejection.
Rejection, sorry. Yes, absolutely. So actors don't just need a strong mindset. We need like crazy level, superhero crazy level of a mindset, because that is what is going to keep you pushing forward through every knockback, through every criticism, through every bit of negativity you get from Bob down the road who thinks he knows everything about acting but has never done a thing in his life, from everybody who's ever told you that you're not good enough or that you can't do something. Because let me tell you this, I'm proof that you're the only one who can decide what you're capable of, nobody else. So if you've ever been told that, then just get rid of that, because it's not true, it's only an opinion. So there are two different types of mindset. People with a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. So people with fixed mindsets tend to not want to take criticism on board. They think that they know everything and they refuse to take other people's ideas on board. Where people with a growth mindset are happy to learn, to listen to other people. Even if they have a different opinion, they'll still listen. And then it doesn't mean that they're going to agree with everything. It just means that they're going to take it on board and then decide for themselves whether that's good for them or not. Does anyone know of any other characteristics of fixed or growth mindset? Has anyone done this stuff before? Yeah?
Yeah, people with fixed mindset tend to not be stubborn and cocky.
Stubborn and cocky, yes, exactly. Where, again, it's the same sort of thing, isn't it? So somebody with a growth mindset will take people's ideas on board and just keep moving with it and will listen if it's right for them. But they've also, got a strong enough mindset to know their own mind enough as well, and to know that there's a million different ways a lot of the time to get the same results. So even if they don't have the same opinion as somebody else, there's still that it doesn't make their opinion wrong, it just means that they're going a different way, which is also fine. So somebody with a fixed mindset, they tend to not like to see other people being successful. And the reason behind this is purely because it reminds them that they're not where they want to be. So instead of working on themselves, they're projecting that frustration and that anger at themselves that's locked deep down inside onto other people, where somebody with a growth mindset would love to see people doing really great things because they see it as inspiration and they can see that they can be like that person. Something else with a fixed mindset, somebody with a fixed mindset would generally be very negative and would give up on things easily, where someone with a growth mindset would see knockbacks as challenges or any obstacles. They'd see them as a challenge, they'd face them head on. And I'm not talking about living in airy fairyland where everything's lovely all the time. Apart from, I think that's where you live, Sarah. I'm talking about being able to face things head on and to keep pushing forward regardless of what's going on around them. And again, just to be able to reflect and hold the mirror up to themselves and reflect on what they've done. So instead of thinking about the whole world and everything's going wrong, they can hold a mirror up and say, right, what could I have done differently? What actions could I have taken to make that, to give a different outcome next time? So think about this when you're doing auditions. You should always, always be reflecting after every audition, whether it's gone really well or whether it was a complete train wreck, and we've all had them. Then reflect, see what you could have done differently, and then get it out of your mind. So that's mindset. And I'm going to ask you now, we're going to do a mindset activity, and we're going to do a visualization. I'm going to ask you to all close your eyes and sit in a comfortable position. So if you've got your notebooks or anything, I'm going to ask you just to put those down for now. So we're just going to take some time out from the day's hectic events. Just take a deep breath and breathe out and just really let yourself relax. And if you haven't done this stuff before, it might seem a little bit weird, but I'm going to ask you to just go with it and see how you feel at the end. Give it a good go. So what you're going to do now is you're going to imagine yourself in 10 years' time having achieved everything that you're setting out to achieve. So get that picture clear in your mind. Where do you want to be in 10 years' time? What can you have achieved by then? And people tend to really underestimate what they can achieve in 10 years. People tend to overestimate in a year but underestimate for 10 years. And I imagine that you're sitting in a movie theatre, in a cinema, and you're looking at the screen. And on the screen, you see yourself in your perfect role. Think about who you're working with. And just take some time to really look at that screen and notice all of the colours, making it more and more vivid in your mind. Notice what's being said around you, what you're wearing, what other people are wearing. And the film comes to an end, and you're asked to come to the front of the cinema and give a speech. So you come up, and you're going to answer the following questions. So your perfect role has just been on the cinema screen. You come up to the front, and somebody asks you a question. The question is, what did you do to get there? Just imagine yourself now answering that question. What did you do to get to where you are? This is you 10 years in the future, having achieved everything that you set out to achieve. And somebody else asks you a question, and the next question is, what did you need to let go of? What did you need to let go of to get you to that place. And just look around you at the crowd and notice how people are responding to you. You're inspiring people. You might see some familiar faces. People are proud of you. People are looking up to you. I'm going to count to 5. I'm going to ask you to open your eyes, but to keep all of these positive feelings. So really think about how it feels now that all of your hard work has been worth it. And hang on to those feelings as I count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just open your eyes. So that is one example of a mindset activity. Other things that you can be doing are things like journaling, which will help you get clarity on where you're heading. So it just unjumbles your mind. And with journaling, you can either free journal, which is where it comes completely from instinct and you're just writing whatever comes to mind down, or you can ask yourself specific questions similar to the questions that I asked you just then when we were doing that visualization. So how are you feeling? Are you nice and relaxed?
Yeah.
Yeah, still got the energy though, I love it. Awesome. Okay, number 2, so that is, that'll help you to get clarity over where you want to be heading and hopefully some belief as well that you can make it happen. So we're going to move on to clarity over who you are and where you fit into the industry. Now, when I speak to casting directors, the number one thing I get told time and time again by many different casting directors is that they just want people to be themselves. They want to see who the real person is behind that character. They want, when somebody comes into the room, they want to see personality. They want to cast a person, not a robot. And something I've been told a lot is that actors tend to go into castings and think that they have to change their personality to suit the character or to come across a certain way, when really what they want is something different. They want you to come in and show them something they weren't expecting. And if they've asked you to come in, it's because they've seen something in you that they like. So then if you change that about yourself, then it's not going to be right for the reasons why they called you in. And when you think about all of your marketing materials, an effective way to be at the forefront of people's mind is to streamline all of your marketing materials towards who you really are as a person. So you've all got roles that you're more suited to, and it's honing into those roles and also showing your true personality. And that is what's going to make you stand out, because there are so many actors out there. As you know, there's going to be so many people going for the same roles, but you've got something that nobody else has got, because nobody else is exactly like you, with your life experiences, with your personalities, with that spark, that energy that you've got, because you're different to anybody else. So don't hide it. Be you unapologetically. Let people see the real you. And when you're promoting yourself, let your personality show. Show people who you are, what you're into, what makes you different. So if you've got your social media profiles, don't just post about acting. Reveal some stuff about yourself as well. And I don't mean just start posting pictures of your dinner and everything like that. Post your real thoughts and your real beliefs, what you're about, what your ambitions are. Why do you want to do this? What difference do you want to make in the world? Let people into who you really are. Show casting directors your real personality. Don't second guess what they want. Show them who you really are. And that's going to be a lot more effective than trying to mould yourself to fit everything. You're never going to be right for every character. And I'm not saying here either that you should just stick to one character type and never do anything else. I mean, you're actors. But what I am saying is, marketing-wise, streamline everything so that you're showing your personality and you're showing what roles that you're suitable for. And so many people go wrong here. And it's because but people in general tend to see themselves differently to the rest of the world. So I've had a lot of people say, just for example, a man who I would see as a cuddly dad, soft, gentle type, but he wants to go into doing badass action movies, to be the lead role in an action movie, which is great, anything possible, but it would be more effective for him to stick to that character type at the beginning while he's establishing himself, because then if somebody's looking for a cuddly dad type and he's marketed himself well and he's showing that across all of his platforms, on his CV, on his showreel, on his headshots, everything is showing that person, then he's going to be more likely to be cast. Because if somebody's marketing themselves as being able to do everything, then that's great, and it's great when people can do that, but they're not going to jump to the forefront of people's mind when they're casting a particular type. So it is going to be more effective to begin with to market yourself as one character type and then to expand on that in the future when you are established. I mean, it's just like any other company. So if I was, say, to have the Northern Star Acting branding as one thing somewhere and there's something completely different somewhere else, then people would get confused and people wouldn't really realise that it's linked. And your headshot is like your logo. So think of it like your logo. And everything, when I'm talking about branding, your branding comes down to the way you talk, your CV, the language that you use for when you're posting things online. And people are watching you online. So bear that in mind, whether it's a personal profile or anything else, people are watching you online. So it's easy to forget that people are there as well. So have a look through all of your social media profiles and just make sure that you're showing that everything's professional. But when I say professional, I don't mean that you can't show personality either. Don't be robots. Show who you are, but make sure that everything's professional. Whether it's if you wanted to have a personal profile in a different name or something, then that's fine. Just be really careful on what you share. Because the thing is as well, there are screenshots and all sorts that people can take. And things do tend to come back and haunt people. I've seen it many, many times. So yeah, be careful there. How many of you do promote yourself on social media? Okay, good, most of you. Because it really is like an amazing tool. It's free unless you choose to pay for advertising, and you don't have to. And it's a great way of networking, but it does need to be right. The main mistake that people make with social media is that they contact people and they're like, have you got any roles for me? Can I send you my CV? Do this, do that. But just remember that anytime you're doing something on social media, it's social. People are there to connect with people, to network. So think about that when you are connecting with people. Build a bond with them first before you start asking for things. I know when I cast for projects myself that I just get loads of inbox messages coming in, and a lot of them, because of the volume, a lot of them I just don't have time to respond to because, there's just so much to do, and when you're casting, it tends to take over, and you just don't have the time to get back to everyone. But if somebody takes the effort to get to know me and what I'm about and what I'm interested in, and then will send a message saying something about what I'm interested in. So for example, say that you're wanting to contact a casting director that you've got in mind. Don't just blanket email a load of casting directors or message them on Facebook. Think about who they are, think about what they're interested in, and just try and build a bond with them. If you're going to message them on social media, email is slightly different. When you're emailing, do it with a purpose. Make sure that you get straight to the point with what you want. On social media, people are there to be social. So build a bond with them first. Don't just go straight in asking for things. So build a bond, and then, when the timing's right, then go ahead. So we've already gone a bit into marketing materials. Just the other thing that I want to say is just make sure that everything you've got is top quality, because this is like, this is your shop window. You're showing how professional you are with your CV, with your headshots, with all of these things. Review them, please review them today, and look at anything that can be improved. Make sure that you've got a great headshot on your CV, and if you do want any advice on anything specific, because obviously I don't have time today to go into much detail about everything, but do get in touch and I'll be happy to send you more information on exactly how to set up your CV and everything. But most of the ones that I've seen here are great, and your business cards and everything. Do any of you have postcards? Actors' postcards? Yeah, they're great. So a postcard is to be used in exactly the same way as you'd use a thank you card. So your business card is for exchanging details, but a postcard, if somebody's done something to help you, so if you've been to a workshop with a casting director or something like that, or they've given you some advice, or especially if they've tasked you in something, send them a postcard which is on the front. It's basically just a bigger version of your business card, but the back of it should be blank so that you can write your message in there. And it's a lot more personal and a lot more attention grabbing than it is to just send a tweet or an email or something like that. And because it's physical, they're likely to chuck it on their desk and forget about it, but then they might see it again when they're tidying up their desk and, oh yeah, that was nice of them. So it's to be used in exactly the same way as a thank you card, and I think they're great. So just have a quick check on the time to make sure I'm not running over. I have been warned. Okay. So a big thing is consistency. So it's no good taking action and not carrying on consistently. So to get anywhere in the acting world, you need to be so persistent, and you need to be willing to keep going and keep on at it for as long as it takes. So do whatever it takes until it takes, and then more. And if this is a massive passion for you, then it becomes part of you. So you've got no choice anyway. Because when I hear of actors and they're saying that they're going to quit and everything like that, everybody has doubts, don't get me wrong. But if they're seriously considering it, then maybe it isn't for them, because if it's truly in your heart and your soul, then, it's part of you and you can't quit being yourself. So, persistent daily action. So let's have some input from you guys. What can you do daily to be kicking ass and making magic happen, yeah? Meditate! Love that answer. Well done. So meditate is another thing to do with mindset work. It's great to start the day with meditation. If you don't meditate, I thoroughly recommend that you start. It really helps to keep you balanced, because let's face it, this industry is absolutely bonkers with highs and lows. You need something to help you balance, and meditation is great. And if you haven't done it before, I would recommend an app called Headspace. It's free. Well, you can pay for an upgrade, but it's free. January. I think it's an initial 10 days or something like that. I've nothing to do with Headspace, by the way, just giving them a random plug. But yeah, it's a great app, so do check that out. What else can you be doing every day? Yeah.
Incantations.
Incantations are like affirmations.
Oh, yes.
When you get it physically in your body.
Absolutely. Incarnations.
Incantations.
Incantations. I can't talk, I've lost the ability to talk. Right. Incantations. So do you want to explain a bit more about that one? I do affirmations, I don't do these. I want to know more.
So incantations, well basically it's similar to affirmations, so people, does anyone know about affirmations in the room? Put up your hands if you do and stuff. So like you repeat some words in your head and stuff, but with incantations, you get it physically in your body, you pump yourself up, it's like you're doing a workout as well. So it's really good for the brain as well, for the body and stuff. Because if you just like repeat stuff in your head just with words and stuff, your brain just can sometimes like will deny it. Well, if you get it physically pumped up into your body, then you know you're charged up for the day and you're ready to go and kick ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
Love it. That's awesome. Do you know what? I do that naturally, but I never knew what it was called. But I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, it's called incantations.
Awesome. There we go. So that's brilliant. Yeah, and affirmations are great as well. Have you ever heard of something called the mirror technique? And this is to do with affirmations. And you're probably going to think that I'm batshit crazy now, but something that I do, especially if I'm feeling quite low on confidence or something, is I'll stand in front of a mirror. I wasn't going to share this. I'll stand in front of the mirror and I will literally shout out affirmations to the mirror. And while I'm doing it, I'll be doing this crazy stuff with my body as well, and doing whatever comes to mind, like, I don't know, whatever, anything, dancing around, Irish jigs, whatever, just because it really, really makes you feel good once you get into it. Also means you might be a bit crazy, but hey! What else can we be doing every day?
Listen to motivational speech.
Motivational speech, yeah. So if you're feeling like you're losing motivation or that you can't get yourself going, it's great to listen to motivational speeches. So that's another really good one. Yeah, brilliant. Well done. I'm going to come over here. Right. How are you doing? Brilliant. I'm going to let you share.
And my one was warming up, just making sure your voice is still in check, and keeping that repetition of it, your body's in check, just so when the time does come, you're ready.
Absolutely, absolutely, really important. Thank you. What else? To book more paid work, what can we do?
Apply for jobs.
Go and see regular plays and also regular films as well.
Absolutely, yeah. See what's happening. Make sure that you're always on top of what's happening in the industry right now and who's casting for what. And then go follow them on Twitter. Get connected to them. Build up rapport with them. Get your agent to put you forward for roles. Request. Make sure that you're being put forward for things. If you don't have an agent, then put yourself forward for these roles. You can do that too. Has everyone here got an agent? Or no? Okay, cool. So if you don't have an agent, you could be looking for an agent or take your career into your own hands, because something that I've seen as well is when people get agents, sometimes they sit back. That's exactly when you should be firing things up. When things go well, keep going with it and make sure that you're pulling out all the stops and making sure that you are giving absolutely everything. Never sit back and never let your career be in anybody else's hands either. So if your agent's putting you forward for roles, great. So think about what else you can do. And your agent can only do so much, because something that I've seen quite often actually is people have come to me and they've said, my agent's not getting me any roles. And I've looked them up and they're not on Spotlight, they're not on casting networks, they don't have a show reel, their headshot's a bit rubbish. So their agent had no hope, do you know? So make sure if find work, first thing you need to be doing is holding that mirror up and looking at yourself and what you can do to change. And then if you still think that it could be to do with your agent, that's perfectly valid as well. Maybe you just don't, you haven't found the right agent for you yet, and it's fine to move on. You know, always do it in a nice, professional way if you take that choice. Let's have some more. Well, what can we do to put ourselves out there? I'm coming to the back. Okay.
Email casting directors directly, so kind of get your agent to do it, but then do it yourself as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And do you know what? Not all of them will get read. A lot of them will end up just being trashed because they get so much. But that doesn't mean you should stop, because every now and again you will get a response. Sometimes they will see your name keep coming up and they might not respond, but they see you. And then when your agent submits you for a role, they think, oh, that name looks familiar. They've been in touch a few times, let's call them in. Because people will call in who they know. So the number one thing that you should be doing is making yourself somebody that the casting directors know, and do that in any way that you can. Okay, I've got the 5-minute wave. So, right. When you're thinking about your daily actions, I'm just going to quickly say a little bit more on this. So think about these 4 areas. Acting skill, mindset, business, and health and fitness. You should be doing something every single day in all of those 4 areas. Work on your skill every single day in some way, even if it's just 10 minutes. Do it every single day. Do something for your mindset every day, and we've talked quite a bit on mindset. So, and we've got a new one now. You're going to have to remind me what it's called.
Incantations.
Incantations. I like that one. I'm going to be talking about that one. Business. Work on your business every single day. Every single day. Take these actions that are going to make a difference. Show up online. Email casting directors. Check your website up to date. Check your marketing materials. Review everything consistently. Make sure that you're showing yourself in the best possible light and that you're taking everything. Go on groups on social media and see who's casting there. Look at production companies, see what they're doing. Look at different theatre companies, see what's going on there. Get to know people. Get to know other actors who are higher up than you, who might be able to help point you in the right direction. But connect with people. Just a quick one about acting groups. If you're going to post on acting groups, do something that will benefit everyone and that people will find interesting. Because so many actors will just post, please like my page, please like my project. But that doesn't seem, it's not interesting to other people unless you give them a reason. So if you're posting about a project, great. But let people know what it's about. Maybe talk a bit about your experiences. I'm getting carried away again, aren't I? Okay, so I'm going to move on to the final section. Breaking down barriers. What do I mean here? Okay, so when I talk about breaking down barriers, what I mean is, don't do just what is expected. Go over and above what is expected. Don't take no for an answer. And by that, I don't mean like go stalk people. I just mean that if you get a no, find another way. If you're finding that you're not booking much paid work, find a way around it. Can you create your own work? Are there any of you here creating your own work? Brilliant! This is awesome! Lots of hands going up there. Well, that's great. And look at all of these other actors around you. And, you know, maybe you could all work together. Be in each other's projects. You know, do collaborate on people, put on plays, profit share, and think all the time, be thinking what you can do to go over and beyond what you're doing today. So, what I'm going to do is, I am going to have a little competition. I'm going to ask you all to tweet me on North Star Acting, or to use the hashtag NSA Tribe. And I'm going to ask you to tweet what you're going to commit to doing every day and to keep me updated on your progress. So I'm going to keep you accountable. And after a month, I'm going to choose one person to win a free business and mindset coaching session to really go deep into where you are now and what you can do to get you to the next level in mindset and business-wise. Because it's important to focus on those two areas because I trust that you're already working on your acting and that your health and fitness is important too, but we won't focus on that yet.
So what was the hashtag?
Oh, hashtag NSA Tribe. So let me know what daily actions you commit to. Let me know as well what your goals are, what targets you're going to set yourself for the next month. And then let me know when you've achieved them.